What's going on, guys? Matt back again, this time for a TV review. I'm reviewing Stranger Things 3, Episode 5, titled The Flayed, written by Paul Dichter, I think that's how you pronounce it, and directed by Uda Brzewicz. So let's go ahead and hop into it. First thing I have for the plot, this could be for the plot or the writing, really. I have, why hasn't Hopper called up any of his officers to help? Now, this is a small thing. You would think that if he's going to go into a house with his gun drawn, that he might call for backup, and that he wouldn't bring an innocent woman with him. Now, the counter to this would be that I think of all the police in Hawkins, he's the only one that knows about the Upside Down and everything. He has to keep it a secret. So could he call up his officers and say, help me look at these 4 or 5 different properties, because I think there might be a secret base. I don't know. So that's a very small problem. Getting into the writing, Jonathan says he's on the phone with Nancy. She calls him early in the morning. I think he's hungover or something, and he says he had a late night with Vagan and the gang. I hate this kind of writing. It's a small thing. It's one line of dialogue, but I had to write it down because it just kind of irks me. It's one of those things that I think that no one ever really says. It's like when you see in movies or TV when someone calls their little brother, little brother. I have a little brother. I don't do that. I know people that have little brothers. I've never seen them do that. I don't think anybody calls their little brother, and I don't think anyone ever, when they're talking about when they hung out with their friends last night, say, I had a late night with Vagan and the gang. No one, I don't know. I just don't think people talk like that. Another thing in the writing I have here, Erica is annoying as hell, trying to break open a container that contains green material and talking about drinking it. Wouldn't she be smarter than that if she knows about communism and capitalism? It totally goes against her character to say, okay, this is a very well educated little girl that knows about capitalism and communism, but when she comes across a container that is that has this strange green material in it, and it cuts to her, and she's like trying to crack it open. It could be some kind of poison, you know. And then she's talking about drinking it. It just, you go from trying to say she's really smart for her age to say like she's really dumb. Another thing is that she's a very one-note character. She does nothing but sass. That's all she does all the time, and it gets old. I really need to see more of who she is other than that. Right now, she's not a character. She's a caricature. And hopefully next season, whenever that comes out, they'll kind of characterize her more. Let us know more about her, more than just that she's sassy. Okay, this next thing is not a negative, only because it has to do with my memory. I haven't watched season 2 since it came out, but I cannot remember how Hopper knows the guy with the beard that speaks Russian, that has he lives in that place where they have to look at the camera and he opens the door with a shotgun. I can't remember how Hopper knows him. I know that Nancy and Jonathan met him last season, but I can't remember Hopper and him coming face to face, so I can't remember how Hopper knows him at all. I'm not going to count this as a negative towards this episode, only because the way it's written as if we're supposed to know Hopper knows him. But either way, I'm not going to count this against this episode, only because I can't remember. Going into the visual effects, some of the CGI when the 2 bodies at the end are melting, it looks very bad. Even the clothes are CGI at one point, and it's obvious. I have here, I would have liked some practical effects. Yeah, mix it up a little bit. If you want to do CGI, there's some shots from further away where they're melting, and it's CGI, and it looks fine. You're not going to get any complaints from me if you're using CGI from a distance, but there are plenty of close-up shots of that particular moment in the episode where you could just tell that it's just computer generated, And even one horrible shot of one of the guys melting, like I said, the clothes are even CGI, and it's obvious. The pink gooey stuff and the clothes that are like falling. Listen, you know, the thing was made in the early 80s. It might have even been 1980. And they would have just put some kind of material in some actual clothes and shot it falling. Like, I'm not going to say they're not putting effort into this show. They clearly are. It's just when you're dealing with a pink gooey monster, you have to use some practical effects, or I'm never going to take it seriously. I'm never going to feel threatened by it at all. So that was a big disappointment for me. And at the very last shot, the pink monster, it just doesn't work for me. I'm more into the first 2 seasons when it was about the Upside Down and it was creepy. This whole idea of this, you know, monster attacking these people, like I said in the previous video, it falls in line with this summertime, bright, blockbuster kind of feel that they're going for. But just use some practical effects. You know, you can show it in CGI, but then show a close shot of some like actual material that you're using to make it look pink and show bones in it. Like, just they didn't do enough with that for me. Cinematography, I have a positive here. There's a shot when Dustin is trying to reach people over the radio from the top of the elevator. The shot goes all the way down the elevator shaft. It even curves for a shot, close shot of Dustin on the radio. I thought that was very well done. I don't think that, you know, obviously the elevator shaft it looked like CGI, not bad CGI, but they were able to make it work from going from CGI to an actual shot of Dustin. I thought that was very well done. But those are all my negatives. So while hasn't Hopper called any of his officers, Jonathan says he had a late night with Vagan in the game, everything about Erica, and then the CGI of the 2 bodies. With that stuff, I still think this is one of the better episodes of this season. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think I gave the 3rd episode an 8 out of 10 also. So this and the 3rd episode are the 2 best, in my opinion, of the first 5 episodes. I have 3 more episodes left to review. But so far, this season is still my least favorite. You know, episodes 1 and 2, and especially 4, don't help. I think I gave 4 a 6. And that's definitely the lowest rated episode. Maybe on par with, what was it, episode 7 of season 2, where Elle went and met all those strange people, and one of them had powers like she did. But yeah, episode 4 is the weakest. This is one of the best. But let me know what y'all's thoughts are in the comments below. Please like this video. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell for alerts for future videos I put on my channel. And y'all have a good day.